Okay, dear student, Assalamu alaikum, and today we are going to solve the past paper question, and we will be doing the 9618 variant 22 October November 2021. And in this paper, the very first question now. Okay, let the students try. The very first paper that we will, the very first question is refer to the insert for the list of pseudocode functions and operator. In paper 2, there are various built-in functions that we can use, and the insert is also given with the paper 2, and that includes the different built-in functions related to the strings and related to the integers numeric function as well, and other functions including the different operator as well. So these functions, they are provided, and their prototype, their example is given. So you are just going to see its appropriate use, and you can take the help from this insert while attempting your questions. So the first question is, a programmer decomposition to a problem that she has been asked to solve. So in order to do this one, the programmer applies decomposition. So here is the topic of the decomposition. You need to see how the programmer is applying the decomposition to a problem that she has been asking to solve. Now the question here is asked about the decomposition. Decomposition kya hai? And you remember the decomposition, how we can explain it? It's describe, and there are 2 marks for it. So we can just write its basic. We will write few points like it is breaking down a problem, okay, into smaller parts. Number 1. This is one thing you can say. And then after breaking down the complex problem into the smaller parts, what we can do, the problem become easier to understand, and you can define it, and to define it as well. So this is what we can write. So the 2 points you can write over here, and we can have more points in it, but it's better that you should limit to the points that is given in your question. Then we have the following pseudocode assigns a value to an element of an array. Now this is the assignment of a value to an element of the array. Complete the following table by writing the answer for each row. The number of dimension, how many dimension it has? So we'll write it has only 1 dimension, because you can see that within the bracket there is only one variable. So that shows that it is 1 dimension. You can also write 1D. The technical term for minimum and maximum value that the variable n may take. So n, because n refers to the index of the array, and the index of the array, the lower index, we can say the lower bound, and then upper bound. Okay, so LB and UB can be the technical term that we use. So lower bound is, we can also define it. I'm writing just to give you an understanding, otherwise LB is enough. Lower bound, or you can write lower bound and upper bound. You can write like this, don't need to make it more clear. So we can write lower bound and upper bound. The technical term for the variable n in this pseudocode statement, so it is index, because the n will represent every element. It will represent every element. So index is going to change, and Every time it changes, it refers to another location. Okay. Now coming to the question C, the part C of this question, and that says the complete the pseudocode expression so that they evaluate to the values shown. Any function and operator may be defined in the insert. So here you're going to see that we can take the support of the insert. Okay, coming to the first, in which it is saying dotted and it says C and 67. So Hamza, what you will say? What can we, which built-in function suits here?
Sir, insert shows like this.
So if we see the insert, yes, this is the insert. So we have left, right, mid, length, L case, U case, two upper, two lower, num to string, string to num, is num, ASCII, char. So I think this is more relevant. ASCII means if we give a character, it will return an integer. Okay. So we need to write here over here. We'll write just ASCII because the word written over here is ASCII, and inside the ASCII already it's written in the bracket, it is C, and C is A is, you know, is 65, so A, B, C, 66, 67, so definitely it is C. Send 2 multiply by this dotted and then 27. So definitely it is the multiplication of 27 to the 2. And the only thing that comes in our mind is that we need to convert this 27 into an integer. So from the insert, you can see the built-in function that can convert the string to num. Like if we give this, so it will return us this. So this is the function, built-in function we'll use, string to num. So here we'll write string, and we need to write it the way it is, string underscore to underscore underscore num. So this gives us 54. So dotted, then inside the bracket 27 divided by this is 13. So it means 27 is divided by 2. We need to write 2 over here. And when 2 divide 27, it gives us 13.5. So now we need to make it round. We can see which which built-in function is feasible over here, is appropriate. Now it is a numeric function. Init returns the integer part of x. So init is returning the integer part. So I think this is more in place of round, although numeric may we have no round, it is random. Random is something else and round is something else. So I think init is the better choice. So we'll write init over here. So 27 divided by 2, it will give us 13.5, but with the init only 13 will be taken. It's not round, it is, as this says, it takes the integer part of x. So the answer is 13. Then comes sub and this, abstraction, this and this. So what we need to do, it means it is sub is this word is taken from here, and tract, we are taking tract, and tract will take from this abstraction, this tract. So now we need to retrieve the word, few letters from it, and to retrieve the letters from, or to abstract the letters from a word, which built-in function we will use. I think it's the mid. What the mid is doing, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So mid, when it says from 2 and letters 3, so it means it goes to 2 and from 2 is B, and 3 is B, C, D, so it takes the B, C, D out. So the same we need over here. So we need to write here mid. So we write mid, and then abstract. In the abstract, we go to the sub is there, and tracked. It is the 1, 2, 3, fourth digit, and how many letters we need? TRACT. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 letters will retrieve. So this will give us, and there is AND operator. This AND operator is a concatenation operator. So it is going to merge the sub with tract. So the word become subtract. Okay. So this is how we solve this question. Moving next, evaluate the expression given in the following table. The variables have been assigned values as follows. Pump on is true, pressure OK is true, high flow is false. Now we just need to evaluate this expression, pressure OK and high flow. So here you just need to apply, you don't need to do it in a difficult way, just need to do it in a very simple way. And what is that? Pressure OK is true, so here you need to put true, and high flow is false, and here you need to put F. So T and F, you know, and requires both sides to be true in order to get true. So if anyone is false, it is false, so we need to write false. So pump on or pressure OK. So pump on is true and pressure OK is also true, and we have or in between. It means anyone is true, the output is true, but here both are true, and then definitely we'll get true over here. Not pump R. Now this is little complicated, and here first you need to see the bracket one. The pressure OK is true and high flow is false, and there is a not. Not means the fall will be converted into true, because not is an inverter. So false is true over here. Now in this situation, what we will see, in this situation, it says high flow is now become true, and with the and the both side is true, so it means this expression is evaluated to true. So this or's one side is true, giving us true. Although if one side is true, we don't need to see the other side, and we can straightly write true over here. But even if you want to evaluate this part as well, pump on अगर आप देखें, it is true. तो अगर ये not के साथ if it is false, so even then there is no problem, because on one side we are getting true, so we'll write true over here. Then not and not high flow. Now this is same. First you will solve this. Pump on is true and pressure OK is true. So with the or we receive true, but when this true is taken with not, it means it is false. ये false में आ गया. And on the other side we have and not high flow. High flow is false, and not means again with the not it will be reversed, and this will give us true. So अब we on one side we have false and on the other side we have true, but in between we have and. So and requires both sides true to get true, so this is false. So this is how we solve this. Clear जी? Moving next, and question number 2. अभी जो मैंने question किया, you can see how many marks. 2 marks, and 4 6, and 3 9, and 2 11 marks का ये आपका question है, and it is if you do this part or these kind of questions more consciously, so you can secure your 11 marks without any error. Okay, now this is another question, and in this question there is an algorithm and a structured English is given over here. Input an integer value, jump to step 6 if the value is 0, sum and count the positive values, sum and count the negative values. Repeat from step 1. Again you will input an integer, output the total sum values and total count values. Draw a program flowchart. Now here you are not going to write the pseudocode. Here they are checking your expertise regarding your understanding and comprehension of your flowchart, and this is what they will look over here. And now we need to note that variable declaration. So you don't need to declare the variables, you just need to attempt it. और इसको करने के लिए you see now we need to अच्छा flowchart in the other thing is the algorithm flowchart in the following to represent the algorithm. Note that this is so okay fine. तो अब हम इसे कैसे कर सकते हैं? How can we do this? Let me connect my iPad. So that we can just a minute. Okay, so taking this question and input an integer value. Let me have the question on one side and input an integer value. I'll try कि आपको सारा visible हो जो मैं draw कर रहा हूँ. So input an integer value, and this is actually a kind of a loop. Okay, so we need to start with the so this is the start, and with the start we need to it says that we need to count the positive values and we need to count the negative values. Okay, so what we will do, अब यहाँ पे you can write the algorithm or you can write little improved, or we can say हम थोड़ा सा improved form में positive count is 0, and we can also write negative count is also 0. I'm sure ये थोड़ा सा आपको visible है. It is, although I'm trying कि मैं चूँकि I have to draw the whole flowchart over here, so I'm writing very small in it. Okay, so just to give you an idea. And then the other thing is that we need to, one is that sum and count the positive values, sum and count the negative values. This is we have written positive count and negative count, and we have initialized them to 0 because we have to get the total in it, and output the sum values and the two count values. And also we need to what we need to do is we need to calculate the count the positive value, sum and count, sum and count. So we also are totaling. So two things we are doing with the positive values. One is that we are totaling them, and second is that we are counting them. So this is the count and the other is another same. So positive total is equal to 0 and negative total is equal to 0. So this is also we will do. So this is the initialization. Okay, then we are going to will be inputting an integer value. Let's say that integer value is n. हम एक integer value integer इसमें input कर रहे हैं. and then condition is n. Now here what it says, uh, jump to step 6 if the value is 0. So it means the condition, it is a condition based loop, so we can guess that it is a while loop, and the condition is if the num is equal to n is equal to 0, if this the n we are inputting is 0. Okay, so if it is yes, then what will happen? The program will stop. It will just go toward this side, and what is in it? Output the total sum and 2 count values. So we'll output the positive total and negative total, and also output the positive count and negative count. Okay, ये हमने इसके अंदर करना है, and then here it will end. But if it is, ये तो straight है part, but the important part is that if it is no, if it is not equal to 0, तो फिर वो क्या करेगा? If it is not equal to 0, then we need to, if it is not equal to 0, तो हम क्या करेंगे? Sum and count the positive values, sum and count the negative value, repeat from step 1, output. Okay, अब ये इसके अंदर जो process होगा, तो if the value, now ये तो हमने देख लिया कि 0 नहीं है, लेकिन अब हमने देखना है कि पॉजिटिव है या नेगेटिव है. तो अगेन वी नीड अनदर कंडीशन. Is n greater than 0? This is the question. And if we say no, तो ये क्या करेगा? Then it is going to increment, means the positive count. If it is not greater than 0, then it is negative count. Negative count is equal to negative count plus 1. And if it is yes, then positive count is equal to positive count plus 1. I'm writing just to give you a little idea. It's not, I'm sure, I'm not writing in a way to कि सारा आपको बहुत visible हो, just to give you an idea what you will be doing with it. And when you will do this, अब ये तो आपने count कर दिया. The other thing is that you need to total it. अब positive count है तो यहाँ पे total होगा, negative count है तो negative total होगा. ठीक है? So negative total के लिए negative total is equal to negative total plus n, वो value इसके अंदर add हो जाएगी. And positive total में is equal to positive total plus n. And then after this, what will happen? Again you need to carry to input again. ये a process आपका इसके बाद repeat होगा. It is going to repeat again. So it will again ask, look for the value of n. This is how we'll complete this. Okay, so if the value is equal to 0, the program will end on this side, and if it is not equal to 0, then it is going to check that the value is positive or negative. If it is positive, then it will do positive count, it will increment the positive count, and then it will total the positive count, positive total, and the value will be added into the existing value. And if it is a negative, If it is not greater than 0, it means it is less than 0, then it is going to move on the negative side, and the same thing it will do on the negative side. And after this, it will again go back, repeat from step 1, which is ask for the number to input again. So this is a loop, and this is a while loop. This is how we do this question. I hope this is also clear. Okay ji. So we move next, and then so this is how we do this. A software company is working on a project to develop a website for a school. A school principal has some ideas about the appearance of the website that is unclear. About about all the details of the solution, the principal would like to see an initial version of the website. Identify a lifecycle method that would be appropriate in this case. Lifecycle method you can recommend. There are different methods like waterfall, iterative, and RAD. अब यहाँ पे देखें वो कह रहे हैं कि school principal has some idea about the appearance of the website but is not clear. It means you will start from the scratch and gradually you will improve. So this type of the method is actually called, हम उसको use करते हुए हम इसे कहते हैं, the life cycle method is called iterative. Iterative भी है और RAD भी है, rapid application development भी. दोनों method इसमें से हो सकते हैं. ठीक है. Reason क्या है? What the reason we will write over here? Because the plan is not mature in the start, so the model will provide an initial prototype. Okay? So it will provide an initial prototype. This is the reason. So there are 2 marks. It means 1 marks for the right life cycle which you will recommend, and this other mark is for the reason that you will put over here. Then the website project has progressed to the design stage. The 3 activities that will take place during the design stage of the program development life cycle. So what you can write over here is the website project had progressed to the design stage. Design stage may you remember the activities that can be done over here is that you create the algorithms, create pseudocode, flowchart. These are the things that you create, and the other thing is that you also work on the user interfaces like the GUIs, the graphical user interfaces, the selections of your different buttons, pull down menus. These are the things. And also you can talk about you can also look for the various modules like procedures. You will also plan the library routines. So these kind of things you can plan in the designing phase of the system program development lifecycle. Okay. Now coming toward the next questions. I know that the duration of our lesson might expand, but we will try to cover the maximum questions or all questions in this session so that the students they can get benefit out of it. Programmer is writing a program to help manage clubs in a school. Data will be stored about each student in the school, and each student may join up to 3 clubs. The data will be held in a record structure of type student. The programmer has started to define the fields that will be needed as shown in the following table. अब ये these are the field: student ID, email, club 1, club 2, club 3, and the value for the student ID is, you can see it's a string. Why? Because it has inverted commas around. Then the email is also going to be string. So it is email will be like this. Then club 1 is integer, club 2 is integer, club 3 is integer. So these are, and also the comment will also help you to understand how to now the question here is write pseudocode to declare the record structure for the type student. So this is, I was telling you in my last lesson that the type is also one very important aspect that can be asked in your programming, in your pseudocodes. So we are going to write, and the pseudocode is type, and the name it suggests is the record student. Okay. So and what we will be writing in it, we'll be writing declare and student ID, and this is of type string, and then the second is declare email, and this is again string, and declare club 1, and this is integer, declare club club 2, this is also integer, declare club 3, this is also integer, and then end type. So this is what we will be doing with this question, that you will write end type, and this is the question we did over here. 3 marks. Okay, so for this you will get 3 marks. A 1D array membership containing 3000 elements will be used to store the student data. Write pseudocode to declare the membership array. So for this declaration for the membership array hai, and we are going to write the pseudocode for it. Declare, and the name is membership, and it is an array, and you need to mention its starting index and the start value, the start index of the start value for the index, and the last value, and between 3000 elements, and that is of type of, and this is going to be of type, what it's saying, the pseudocode to declare membership to store the student data. So the type is actually the user defined data type. So we'll write the student. Now here this variable is declared of this type, student type. Okay, so you have 2 marks of it. And how these 2 marks you will get? Here you are going to, 1 mark is for, you need to be very clear about it. 1 mark is for the right declaration of the array, and 1 mark is assigning student to it. So how, this is how you get 2 marks in it. Okay, and in the same way, this question, 1 mark is for writing this type and end type, and 1 mark is to rightly assign the string data type for student and student ID and email, and 1 mark is to rightly assign the integer data type for club 1, club 2, and club 3. This is how they will give you 3 marks. Some of the elements of the array will be unused. Okay, give an appropriate way of indicating an unused array element. Some of the array element, और जो उसके अंदर हैं, some of the elements of the array, they are not used. So what we will do with it? Appropriate way of indicating an unused array element को mention करने का तरीका क्या है? Okay, what we can write, give an appropriate way of indicating an unused array element. So unused में आप उसको, if it is string, you can assign a blank field, blank data. So what we can say, assign, इसके लिए हम आंसर लिख सकते हैं, assign, we can give a value, ठीक है, we can give a value. Unused array element, definitely the size is 3000 elements, so definitely it is not possible that, it may be depending on the need and the requirement, but if a value or the element is not used, what we can do is that we can assign, if it is for example integer, we can assign 0 to every cell, and all the values, all the cell which will be occupied or populated with the new value will be with those numbers, and the remaining which are unused will be left with the zeros. So give a value of the appropriate data type, जो data type आपने उसको assign की हुई है. Let's say if the data type is integer, give 0, and if the type is यानी इसको मैं example भी दे सकता हूँ. For example, if it is, although it's not asking for example, but I'm telling you, integer के लिए initial value 0 दे सकते हैं, and string के लिए we can write double quotations. So this is how we can do this. Some students are members of less than 3 clubs. State one way of indicating an unused club field. So okay, some students are members of less than. Give an appropriate way of indicating an unused array element is this, outside, and so what we will do in it, this is some students are members of less than 3 clubs. State one way of indicating an, so what we will write in it is a number which is one way of indicating an unused club field. अच्छा, इसको आप देखें, इसके लिए हमें you need to refer to the this, yes, this is important. Club में you can see the club field, any value in the range 1 to 99 inclusive. These are the numbers. Okay, and what are these numbers for? They are saying the programmer has started to define the field that will be needed as shown in the following table. Programmer is writing a program to help manage clubs in a school. Data will be stored about each club in the school, and each student may join up to 3 clubs. The data will be held in a record. Acha. So the values, they are any values in the range 1 to 99. These are inclusive, means 1 and 99, they both are included. State one way of indicating an unused club field. तो उसके लिए आप क्या लिखेंगे? A number outside the range. We can write a number outside the range can be the value that can be, that we can say is unused club field हो जाएगा, ठीक है, which is not in the used. Okay, so this is how we carry on with this. A procedure get ID, prompt and input the number of club, output the student ID of all the students who are members of that club, output a count of all students to the, just let me, I have a little doubt in this third part. Some of the elements of the array will be unused. Give an appropriate way of indicating an unused array element. One way is this, if actually I didn't see the values that is given over here, and that is any value in the range. Yes, some of the elements of the array will be unused. So yes, the way is that if the value is outside the normal range. No, we have done correct, it's fine. So we assign an initial value. Okay. Procedure get ID. Now we need to write a procedure get IDs. Prompt and input the number of the club, number of a club. Output the student ID of all the students who are member of that club. output a count of all students in the given club. Okay, so this is what you are actually checked. This is what you will be. So we need to write the code of it, and what we will do in it is procedure हम एक लिखेंगे. Okay, the procedure is get IDs. Get IDs, and in this procedure we need to declare some variables, like we need index I of type integer, and then we need to declare the, it is saying the number of, so we can say the club, output the student and all who are members of, output a count of all student. So number count, so we can say that count member of member count. We need member count, or it can be simple count as well. Count will accept it. Count, and then we need to write the student ID of the students who are the member of a given club. So we can have club. Okay, so this is we need it integer, and first we'll message output, and we'll say please enter club number, because it is saying in the question that prompt and input the number of club number. So we will do this, and then we will input, and what is that? This is the club. So here we can write it club num. Club num. Okay. So this is what we'll do. Now we need to set a procedure which will count it. Okay, so we will count is always initialized. Whenever you use a count, we need to initialize it, and then we need to output the student ID of the output given. So we see here it is a membership जो है, that is with the array. So we have an array. So for the array we always use a loop. We use a for loop. For I is equal to 1 to 3000. This is the next I, and inside it we will write. So here we will be writing. अब हम देखें क्या कर रहे हैं. We are talking about the person, if it is in the club 1, 2 and 3. अगर उनमें से है तो we need to set a condition. If the membership I and this membership dot club underscore 1 is equal to, ये जो हमने अभी एंटर किया है, club num, or if membership I dot club underscore 2 is equal to club num, or अभी मैं जो अंडरस्कोर डालो ना, ये इसलिए डाल रहा हूँ कि so that it is a way that shows that we are moving on the next line. So the same statement is moving on the next line. If the membership I, अच्छा ये मैंने ब्रैकेट लगाई है, we usually use this bracket. And membership I dot club underscore 3 is equal to club num. Then we will say, तो फिर क्या होगा अगर इन तीनों में वो है, if the club number is in club 1, club 2 और club 3, इन तीनों में से किसी पर है तो we are going to count is equal to count plus 1, and then we will also output it. आउटपुट हम इसको करेंगे, आउटपुट membership I डॉट, उसका अब हम स्टूडेंट आईडी प्रिंट कर देंगे. So this is student ID, and then the loop will be end over here. Next I, and then we'll write output. There are count, there are this number students in the club. ये हमें एक मैसेज कर देंगे, ठीक है, and then end procedure. This is the procedure will be completed. Okay, so this is how we created the procedure get ID, and we declared the local variables, and we input the club num, and then we use the loop to traverse or to move into every element and to check the type with the help of the type record structure, and approached every club and then see if the club num is in any of the club number, and then we made the count and we output their related student ID. Okay ji, so we will, in this session we will just stop the video over here, or stop the lesson over here, and I will upload the remaining part in the next video, the part 2 of it. Okay.